Hey y'all, it's Ben with Broad Shoulders Farm. It's Sunday, April 19th, and it's about 7 o'clock, so it's gonna be dark here within the hour. But I got my headlamp already ready, but I'm gonna start by putting to bed our special kids, and I don't know if everybody knows about our special kids, so I just thought I'd do a quick little shot here of them and tell you a little bit about them. So we have 4 little birds that live in this house, and during the day they range out here in one of the dog kennels at the clinic. And we've got hawk netting up here to keep everybody safe, but we've got 4 of the little devils, and they've been with us for a while. Different ones for different lengths of time. This is Gertie, short for Gretel. She is a German Bielefelder. And we got Gertie from Alchemist Farm out in California. And she's got a birth defect. She's blind in one eye and can barely see out of the other. And she's also got like a fold of skin that kind of occludes it. So she can really only see out of like the lower right corner of her right eye. But she still gets around just great. I remember her when she was in the brooder. She was so sweet. She would always be arching her neck back to take a look at me, and she actually lived with the rest of the birds in the French and German breeds flock for a while. And she's very clever at getting around. She's super sweet. She's very chatty. But she would come out and find me whenever I was in that coop. I don't know how she did, but she would always come and find me and hop on my shoe and sit on my shoe and sing a little song and look up at me and all that. And so we decided to move Gertie in with Cordy, and that's Cordelia. Cordelia is our special needs crossbeak little gal. Cordy was an impulse purchase from Tractor Supply. She was supposed to be an Americana. She looks way more like a Penedisenka or a brown leghorn. She's definitely not an Americana, but she lays a great egg, and she does it pretty much all the time. I think this is one of Cordy's. This one looks a little long for her today and a little light, but I don't know. She's maybe part Welsumer. I'm not sure what Cordelia's genetics are, but Cordy is totally blind, and she has a crossbeak, which if you're not familiar with, it means that her upper and lower mandible don't line up, and being blind as well, it makes it really hard for her to eat on her own. So my wife syringe feeds her every day, as she has for the last 2 years, and I help when I can. But we love Cordelia. She lays as much as any of the girls in production, but she hangs out here. And at first she was our only little special needs chicken, and we put some bantams in with her, including Stubbs here. Stubbs was like the size of, I don't know, a 50-cent piece. He was the littlest bantam ever. And Stubbs had wry neck, which is usually, from my reading, it's based on a selenium deficiency. And it made his neck bend and kind of wrench in a way that wasn't great for him. And we actually treated him by giving him loads and loads of extra basil in his food when he was a kid. And we cleared it up in about a month, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And today you would never know that he had anything going on, but he's a little dark Brahma bantam, and this is his little harem. He and Cordy were together for the longest time. They're inseparable. He gets very upset if you take her out. And we added Gertie into their polycule, and he's not too abusive of the ladies, which is good. Hi, Gertie. Hi, baby. If you've never had Bielefelder chickens, I really cannot recommend them highly enough. Even with her special needs and her handicap, Gertie is fantastic. She is so big and fluffy. And the boys, we have Hans up at the garden. Unfortunately, we lost Franz earlier this year, but Bielefelders are big and cuddly, and they lay a great egg. Actually, Gertie's eggs look like this. It's a very nice sized light brown egg. Really great. Now, in addition to those 3, we also have sweet Agnes here. Hi, Aggie. Agnes is a Dutch Brabanter, one of my favorite breeds, and she is super sweet. She hangs out with us. She's very delicate. We have been tube feeding her because she's really unable to eat on her own for more than a month now, probably coming up on 2 months. Hi, baby. She's not laying eggs, which is fine. There's no pressure for her to do that. But can you see how swollen her jaw is? That just kind of appeared one day, and at first I thought it was a maybe a canker or something. Some food had gotten caught in her jaw, but there's nothing in there like that. Her jaw is just very swollen on both sides. She was losing a lot of weight, not being able to eat on her own, but since we started tube feeding her, it's probably not it's definitely not an ideal situation, but we fill that crop up, and she gets plenty of food. And I'm not sure what more we can do for her at this point. We may start moving on to continuing to tube feed her, but adding some maybe some antibiotics or something now that we're getting her weight up and she's not starving anymore. Add some antibiotics so she can fight that. I really don't know what it is that's caused this kind of sudden swelling. But anyhow, Agnes is one of our 4 special kids who does not live at the garden and the farm operation. They stay down here, and every day we take them out, and every night we put them back in to their little house around the corner, and that's what I'm going to do now. And just one quick thing I wanted to say about Cordelia, the crossbeak. We are pretty certain that Cordelia's crossbeak is not genetic, which is usually the case. It's pretty bad with certain breeds or common, especially silkies, but we're pretty sure that Cordelia actually has a crush injury because her skull and that eye are all just kind of like shifted, like they got smashed in the brooder at Tractor Supply or in the shipment on the way. And I didn't even realize what was going on with her when we first got her. The guy at the Tractor Supply just scooped up a couple birds. I didn't really look at them. I'm much better at looking at them now, but we got her home and I put her in the brooder, and again, I didn't even notice until probably a day or so afterwards. Elise was looking at her and was like, "Hey, what's wrong with that chicken?" And Elise like picked her up, and we had some concerns. We could tell something was off, and Elise took a water dropper and just dropped some water on her bill, and Cordelia's like, her eyes shot wide open, and she looked like she was physically transformed. Like if there was a cartoon sound effect or something, it was a perfect moment for that. It actually was really beautiful, and I kind of teared up at the time because I didn't know what was going on with her. But we love her and we take good care of her, and she'll be with us for as long as she wants to be. We'll take excellent care of her. She's very chatty, especially if you play with her feet. She does not like that. Right, Cordy? But yeah, she gets a couple giant syringes. I can still feel her crop is pretty full right now. But yeah. So anyhow, Cordy, Gertie, Stubbs, and Agnes are our special needs kids right now. So anyhow, that's a little piece of our farm that maybe you didn't know about. And now you do. You're just chatting away. Hey, Gertie, hi. Hi, baby. You can see that's her blind eye, and the one that is partially occluded there. See, like the skin flap covering it. But I think that's the eye that she has actually a little bit of vision out of. This one over here, like zero, like dilation. The pupil doesn't move at all. So anyhow, these are special kids. We love them. I'm going to put them to bed and then go up to the garden and start putting to bed everybody else because it'll be dark before you know it. All right. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.